Good to see you. Welcome back.
Things are heating up in 2025. We got a lot going on.
I hope so, because it's been a while since you've been in, so I imagine there's all kinds of news that we're going to unleash on our viewers.
Yes.
So the trail. We were talking with Kyle Lewis. He's got trail going north of Monroe. We've got inside the city an extension as well.
Yeah, this is kind of the missing piece in our trail system. We have extensive trails in Ellis Sharp Park, and we have our MLK Equality Trail, which is our main pedestrian trail, but they just don't link up like we would like them to. Mm-hmm. So just kind of looked at where we could put a connecting trail, and it's going to be along South Street. So it's going to connect from along Elmdale, that new trail that went in a couple years ago, and then it'll go up a little bit First Street and connect to the MLK Trail. So I'm really excited to see it. It'll provide a nice loop for people who use the trail.
Yeah, and it's a section of the street that really is, it's not a high traffic street. In fact, it's dirt street.
That's right, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, so this will just really increase connectivity. We know that people use our trails for exercise, but people also use them for getting to school and work as well. So this will really increase that connectivity in that area of town, and I'm excited to use it myself. I'm a prolific runner and biker.
Yeah, and it's, I know I see you on the trail, and it's close to a park that's on the trail that's going to get a new name.
Yeah, that's right. New Leaf Park is now going to be Griffin Park, and it's official right now. We just got to update the signage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's I think you call these pocket parks.
Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of like a trailhead in a certain sense. A lot of people park there and then they get out and use the trail. And this is kind of like a pocket park or a trailhead park. So really there's not much there at the park beyond a parking lot, a bike repair station, and some green space. But we're looking at different things that we can put there to make it more attractive just because it is a really nice location, and we'd like to offer more things there. And when the trail was under construction, we had to remove some of the features there. So we want to put more things back there. But really it's a nice critical area along the MLK Trail. And it's great to give it a new name to honor a local family. So I think a lot of people know the Griffins, former state rep Michael Griffin, and former state rep and former mayor Marty Griffin, current treasurer, and his brother John, former city commissioner and current Summit Township treasurer. So really honors their contributions to the community and their public service.
Yeah, I think they great name in community service being honored. And really, New Leaf, it didn't mean much. I mean, it was the name of a gallery, a pottery gallery that was on that property that burned down. So,
yeah, it's great to look at parks and streets that we can rename, because people made decisions to name those things at that time, and that was important to them. But we can't be held to the past. We can decide what's important to us now and honor that.
All right, now officially, Griffin Park.
That's right.
We've got a new police chief. In fact, Chris Simpson was here yesterday with the retiring Elmer Hitt and the former chief, Matt Hines.
I liked all those photos he brought out. That was nice to see.
Well, these guys represent great leadership for many decades, and there's also the changing of the guard at the fire department.
Yeah, so what happened is over the past 15 years, our police and fire departments have been combined under Police and Fire Services, and there was a director, which was Elmer Hitt. And so this is all kind of happening at once, where the two departments are splitting back into their own departments, and we have a new police chief and a new fire chief. We actually haven't had a fire chief for about 15 years, just because it was a shared position through Elmer. So Tim Gonzalez, former deputy fire chief, he's been leading the fire department over the past 2 years, been doing a great job, and then now he's ascended to the official title of fire chief.
That's exciting for Tim. I know as a kid, that was his goal. He wanted to be the fire chief of the city of Jackson.
Right,
as a kid.
Yeah, and Chris said that as well. When he started with the police department, he wanted to be the police chief. So it's really great to get these people in these roles, because they've done a great job for the city in the past, so we know they'll continue that in the future.
Yeah, awesome. Congratulations to both guys. And the rank and file in both departments is pretty happy.
Yeah, definitely seems that way.
And that's been you know, over the years, it hasn't always been the case.
Yeah, and Elmer's done a great job. We're definitely going to miss Elmer at the city. I've really enjoyed working with him when I was a news reporter, and then as a city PIO. He's always been great to work with, and we'll definitely miss him and thank him for his service.
Yeah, I know he's got, there's something up his sleeve, but he may take some time to decide what to do, but I know he's not going anywhere anytime soon. Let's see, we've also got, I think by this time every year we've had the State of the City. Are we going to have one this year?
We sure are, in March 19th, so
Okay.
save the date, 6 p.m. at the City Center, which is the former Masonic Temple, and this will be Mayor Mahoney's 4th State of the City address.
So what's the state of the City Center building?
Well, you're going to see it when you visit there. So we're having the event there because we wanted to highlight the work that's been going on over the past year, and there's really been an amazing transformation. So what's happening there is it's the former Masonic Temple, and then Vermeulen's had it for a while, used it for extra showroom space, and the city acquired it last decade, and we've been putting in funds to bring it back to community use, because really without the city stepping in, that building would just be continuing to deteriorate, and we'd perhaps lose the building eventually. So we've been able to preserve the building and bring it back to use for the community. So what we're looking at is on the ground floor, food service training center, incubator kitchen, and then the second floor, which is the main auditorium, that's going to be a community center and event space. So we had the State of the City there last year, and so people can come back this year and see all the transformation.
Yeah, so this photo, can you bring that back up? This is the main ballroom, I guess.
That's right. Yep, the main auditorium. And so it's going to be, the mayor's going to be giving his address. There's going to be other local officials giving remarks as well. But really, we want this to be a celebration of the building and for the community to come out and see all the work that's been happening there. So you can come out, listen to the speakers, but definitely check out what's been going on the first 2 floors.
I've peeked in the, they're preserving that bowl, that cove of the stage, and it's going to look, I mean, it's the architectural elements with the balcony and all the woodwork and everything, that's being restored and will remain, from what I could tell.
Oh yeah, very well preserved in the auditorium and the mezzanine level. It's been really impressive to go and see everything that's been saved. And then less so on the ground floor, because that's where the kitchen is going, so we want to make sure it's up to modern standards, but it's going to be really great. So the city is going to own it long term, and it's just going to be another community center and a space for the city or people in the community to use for events.
So this kitchen, originally I heard, when they first talked about, even before the Jackson School of the Arts, they wanted like a demonstration kitchen, incubator kitchen, competition kitchen. What can you give a better description of what it's going to be for?
Yeah, the background was there was some conversations with consumers about doing something there, and then the pandemic happened, and that went out the window with a lot of other things. So what we're looking at here is we want to partner with a local organization to have a food service training center. So that's for people who want to get experience in the food service industry. We've heard from local restaurants that that's a growing need, and they need more people trained for those careers. And then also in the kitchen is going to be an incubator kitchen. So if someone makes butter or cupcakes or any food-based item, they can grow their business by sharing the space at the incubator kitchen, so they're not having to pay for another location or do something out of their house. This is going to be a state-of-the-art kitchen where they can grow their business, and then the idea is perhaps they'll move on to another space, fill up a storefront, have a brick and mortar space. So this is really going to improve our local economy and give people opportunities to grow their food-based business.
And then if an event, say a wedding, is on the second floor in the main auditorium, would that kitchen then be available for a caterer?
Yeah, exactly. That's really the idea, for the 2 spaces to work together. And so right now we're just working on getting the building back to modern standards and restore everything, and then we're going to be figuring out who's going to be operating the kitchen and the food service training center and everything like that.
Cool. All right, I got a letter from the city. They want to come in and hook up some new lead lines.
Oh boy.
No, not lead lines.
Replace your lead
Replacement. They want to replace, so it's going through, it's in process. Where are we with that?
Yeah, achieved an important milestone in 2024. We passed over 1,000 lead service lines that have been replaced. And still is a long way to go. This is going to be an issue that we address over decades and not years. So this is not going to be an issue that's going to go away anytime soon, just because we have more than 10,000 lines that we have left to replace. But the good news is that we just surpassed more than 1,000 lines replaced. And then last year, we doubled the amount of lines that we replaced compared to 2023. So we're really picking up the pace, and that's great to see. We do these replacements when we dig up a street to do a construction project, but then also we're getting a lot of work done through the Department of Public Works. They have a dedicated team that is out replacing lines in the warmer months through spring through the fall, and they can often replace a lead line up to 1 to 2 a day. So it's just kind of taking some time to get the crews hired, get them trained, get the equipment, but we're really seeing these increase. So that's great to see that we can help protect people's water quality.
So that decades, we have a deadline, I think, at 2040, something like that.
Yeah, when we started this in 2019, when we started to get a better idea what it would take, we initially projected 35 years. So it's really hard to say because the state and federal government is giving us different deadlines every now and then. So we're really doing our best to do these replacements as quick as we can, but it's really going to take more people power and more funds to do it quicker. So it's important to note that we're doing this to comply with state law. It says that every water service in the state has to replace their lead service lines. It doesn't mean that we have an issue with lead in the water.
Right.
It's more that we're working to comply with the state law, and we know that from Flint that the lead lines can be potentially hazardous. But we know that we want to definitely get the lead lines out of the ground. It's just going to take some time and money.
All right. Well, that's a lot right there, but even more next week. We'll check in with you next week on some more things that are on the short horizon.
Sure.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
City of Jackson Public Information Officer Aaron Dimick. Up next,